one. All right, Patriots, crank that volume until the neighbors file a complaint because you are locked in with Howling AM. And tonight, we are going nuclear on the real monster lurking behind the antisocial mind virus that we tore apart last episode. Now, this ain't just the government watching you anymore. This is the all-seeing eye of the beast. A total, layered, inescapable surveillance grid that has turned your entire life into an open file. From the router in your living room to the grocery store you shop at, from the phone in your pocket to the sky above your head, they are watching, listening, tracking, and recording everything. And the worst part? Most of you are paying for the devices that are spying on you. That's right, you financed your own prison cell. Let's go ahead and start this right off where you live. Your Wi-Fi router, that innocent little black box blinking in the corner, it's not just giving you internet. No, modern routers use something called Wi-Fi sensing, a motion sensing technology on the 5 gigahertz band that can detect your movement through walls. It tracks where you are in your house, when you go to sleep, how you toss and turn, and even your breathing patterns. No cameras needed, just radio waves bouncing off of your body. Hackers and ISPs can exploit this too. Your router is literally mapping your private life. But wait, it gets worse. Flip on your smart TV. That fancy Samsung, LG, Roku, or Vizio you just bought, it's running automatic content recognition. It doesn't just know what show you're watching, it analyzes everything on your screen, including whatever you plug in through HDMI from your laptop or game console. It's building advertising profiles on you, while the built-in cameras and microphones sit there ready to be hacked or quietly activated by the manufacturer. They even give you cute little instructions on how to turn it off. But we all know how that goes, don't we, folks? It never really turns off. And your computer, Windows 11 starts sending data straight to Microsoft and third parties the second you finish your installation. That's hardware level tracking. Every keystroke pattern, every mouse movement. It's all getting logged and shipped out. Some of you may have switched to Linux to escape it, but even then, you're still swimming in a sea of surveillance. Let's go ahead and talk about that little trader you carry in your pocket every day. That's right, your smartphone. Thousands of apps, weather apps, navigation, games, even prayer apps are sucking up real-time location data, your contacts, and various device identifiers, all through hidden software development kits, that is SDKs, which you might have heard of because you agree to them in the fine print when you sign up for these apps. These apps, by the way, they are selling your information to shadowy data brokers who then repackage and resell it to surveillance companies, defense contractors, and government agencies like the FBI, ICE, and local police. And here's the really sick part, turning off your phone doesn't even stop it, because modern phones slip into a low power mode and keep broadcasting via Bluetooth even once they're turned off. Apple and Google have built networks that can still locate your device even when it's supposedly powered down. The only real way to go dark? A Faraday bag, or ripping the battery out, which frankly most of you can't even do anymore. But I'll tell you, the phone isn't working alone. Your internet service provider, your ISP, the company piping internet into your house, has a legal right in America to sell your browsing history, app usage, and real-time location data without your explicit consent. Thanks to the 2017 repeal of FCC privacy rules, companies like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile have all been caught selling customer location data that ended up in the hands of bounty hunters and law enforcement. And they're doing this to control you, and when you step out of line, they're gonna arrest you. And I'll tell you what, folks, it gets even more evil. These internet service providers aren't just selling your browsing history, They are actively building political profiles on you. They are categorizing and tagging Americans by race, sexual orientation, and especially political beliefs. Then, they quietly sell those profiles to their corporate partners and government handlers. This isn't random data collection. This is them preparing the battlefield. Meanwhile, the real monsters of the data world, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, LexisNexis, and Axicom, they sit on top of the largest surveillance dossiers ever assembled on hundreds of millions of human beings. They know your finances, your habits, your weaknesses. A huge amount of this poison leaks through the ad bid system. You know, that sleazy real-time auction where every time an app tries to show you an ad, your exact location and device ID get blasted out to dozens of shady companies at once. Many of them aren't even trying to sell you anything. They're just harvesting your life for the machine. And it's a rigid digital slaughterhouse feeding straight into the beast. Now look here. I'll tell you, this isn't random. No, this is a supply chain. The apps harvest the data. Then, it flows through real-time ad bidding systems so that data brokers such as Anomaly 6, Fog Data Science, Ventel, and Babel Street can buy it up. Anomaly 6, they've bragged about tracking 3 billion devices globally in real time. Fog Reveal, they let cops search billions of location points, all without a warrant. Flock Safety runs over 80,000 automated license plate readers across the country. These companies, they then turn around and sell this information straight to the government. And it doesn't stop at digital. No. Walk into any grocery store these days, and you are stepping into another surveillance node. The stores, the payment processors, and the credit card companies are all tracking your purchasing behavior using facial recognition, gait analysis, and even eye movement tracking. The stores you shop at and the cards that you use for payment are building detailed profiles on what you buy, when you buy it, and where you are. And then they sell that data to the same brokers I mentioned, or they hand it directly to federal agents through subpoenas. Your loyalty cards, I'll tell you, they're just voluntary snitch programs. So I say use cash if you still can, but frankly, even that's getting harder. And I'll tell you, this is the corporate surveillance economy feeding the beast. From your grocery receipts to your every click, everything flows upward into the hands of the government itself. And who is sitting at the very top of this demonic pyramid? I'll tell you, the government itself. Agencies like the NSA and FBI, they run programs like PRISM and Upstream that let them suck phone calls, emails, text, and social media straight from the tech companies. They hoover up all your metadata, who you called, when you called, how long, and where were you when you called. And I'll tell you, this often reveals far more than the actual conversation does. Local police are rolling around with StingRay devices. These are fake cell towers that force every phone nearby to surrender its data. They're even pushing for backdoors and golden keys and encryption, so nothing can ever truly be private. And who helps them make sense of all this stolen data? I'll tell you, Palantir Technologies with their Gotham platform. which is a beast system specifically designed to fuse all of your private information together so that the government can spy on Americans more efficiently. Now, this isn't new. The FBI has been running black bag jobs and illegal break-ins for decades under programs like COINTELPRO, which was them attempting to disrupt political groups, tampering with mail, and destroying lives. Project Shamrock had them systematically reading everyone's telegrams and mail. The technology may have changed, but the evil stayed exactly the same. And of course, they always say the same damn lie with a straight face. This is all for your safety and convenience. They tell you that the smart TV is listening so that it can give you better recommendations, that the router tracks your movement so it can optimize your Wi-Fi, that the apps steal your location for relevant ads and traffic updates. The drones and facial scanners and data brokers, well, that's national security, they say. Fighting terrorism, protecting the children. Well, hey, I'll call it what it is. Bullshit. If all of this is really about security, then why does crime keep getting worse? Why are the borders wide open while they spy on law-abiding citizens? Why do the fentanyl deaths, the gang violence, and the grooming in schools only expand while their surveillance budget is exploding every single year? Here's the truth they don't want you to hear. Criminal enterprise only ever expands under their watch. The drug cartels, the human traffickers, the street gangs. It seems that they operate with total impunity, but God forbid you question the official narrative online or buy the wrong groceries with cash. Then, suddenly, the machine wakes up and you're the threat. Yeah, they don't want to stop real crime. Real crime justifies their budget. It justifies their power. What they actually want to stop is you, an awake, angry, freedom-loving American who might one day say enough and organize with your neighbors. That's why every single piece of this grid points inward at the American people instead of outward at the real enemies. Security and convenience are the oldest lies in the book. What they're building is control. Pure, raw, total control. And when someone dares to blow the whistle on this nightmare, well, I'll tell you folks, they don't just get ignored, they get absolutely destroyed. I'll tell you, Edward Snowden, he exposed PRISM, and he was forced into exile in Russia. Russ Tice, Thomas Drake, and William Bennett, seasoned NSA insiders. They were raided, smeared as unstable, or charged under the Espionage Act. Karen Silkwood, she died in a suspicious car crash with her documents missing. Philip Haney exposed secret watch lists inside the DHS and was found dead from a gunshot-ruled suicide. You remember those Boeing whistleblowers who had exposed deadly safety failures? One after another started dropping. Sudden infections, self-inflicted gunshots in the middle of depositions. Martha Mitchell was labeled crazy and forcibly sedated for speaking truth during Watergate. The message is clear, folks. Watch what we do to those who expose what we are doing to you. Speak truth about the all-seeing eye, and they will come for your career, your reputation, your freedom, and sometimes even your life. But here is what you really need to understand, that this entire surveillance apparatus is the enforcement arm of the antisocial mind virus that we talked about last episode. Because this virus, it breaks families, confuses kids, pushes chemical castration and self-mutilation. It collapses birth rates, and it shames anyone who wants strong borders and Western civilization. The surveillance state makes sure that you cannot effectively resist any of it. They track you through your router while you sleep. They watch what you're really looking at on your TV. They know where your phone goes 24/7, even when it's off. They know what you buy at the grocery store, what apps you use, what websites you visit, who you talk to, and what you say on social media. They have drones with thermal cameras and long-range microphones that can watch you from the sky. The TSA scanners, they're building 3D face maps of your skull. Credit card companies and retailers are profiling your every purchase with facial recognition and eye tracking. And every scrap of that data flows upward, from the shady app developers to the data brokers like Anomaly 6, Fog Data, Ventel, and Babel Street, straight into the hands of the FBI, DHS, ICE, SOCOM, and local police departments, often all without a single warrant. This isn't national security. This is total information awareness turned against the American people. They want you isolated, they want you demoralized, and they want you dependent. A surveilled population is a compliant population, and when every move is tracked, people self-censor. When your purchases, your searches, and your location are logged, you start thinking twice before speaking out. When they can map your entire life in real time, resistance becomes much harder. And I'll tell you, folks, this is how they enforce the mind virus. This is how they protect the grooming factories in the schools, the mutilation mills in the clinics, the open border replacement project, and the war on normal families. They don't need jackboots on every street when they have a digital panopticon in every pocket. And make no mistake, folks, the Bible warned us about exactly this kind of total control system. And I'll tell you exactly what it said. It said, it also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark. That is not ancient history, folks. That is the spirit behind this beast system they're building now, where your ability to live, to buy food, to move freely, it all depends on submitting to their digital grid. So let this episode be your wake-up call. They claim that it is for safety, they claim that it is for convenience, but while they map your every breath through your own router, the real threats are multiplying, and the American people, they are treated like the enemy. That isn't incompetence. No, that is intentional. This is tyranny with better servers. Their surveillance state is the iron fist that is protecting the antisocial mind virus. It keeps you isolated, it keeps you afraid, and it keeps you constantly monitored so that you never have the courage or the privacy to fight back against the destruction of your family, your culture, and your nation. But let me tell you what they fear more than anything. They fear a people who refuse to live in fear. They fear a people who turn off the sensors, who reject the tracking and rebuild strong families and tight communities that their algorithms cannot predict or control. They fear a people who fear God more than they fear the NSA. So I tell you, turn off what you can. Delete every app that you don't absolutely need. Use cash when possible. Starve the data brokers. Ditch the loyalty cards and stop feeding them your habits. Get serious about privacy like your life depends on it, because it does. Teach your children that liberty is a God-given right that is worth defending. Speak the truth boldly, especially when the eye is watching. Rebuild your marriage. Raise defiant, rooted, clear-eyed kids who will not bow to this digital tyranny. Strengthen your church and your neighborhood until they become a real fortress that the beast cannot penetrate. Because this is spiritual warfare dressed up as a technology. The all-seeing eye of the state. It wants to play God. But I'll tell ya, there is only one true God, and he never surrendered his children to digital tyranny. So reject the surveillance state, reject the mind pirates, and reject fear itself. Stand up, speak out, rebuild what they are trying to destroy. The metal is screaming the battle cry. Become the enemy of the enemy. This is Howling AM. I am Michael Reddick. They are watching, but we are awake. Now fight like free men and women who still believe in something eternal. Reject the beast and choose freedom.